doesn't say the hour of His judgment shall come. It says the hour of His judgment has come. Let me ask you, does the judgment take place while the gospel is being preached? Absolutely. And listen to what I'm going to say. Only after the three angels proclaim their messages do you have Jesus seated on a cloud with a sickle in His hand to harvest the earth. Which means that the three angels' messages are preached, and then you have the coming of Jesus to harvest the righteous and to harvest the wicked. In other words, the judgment takes place before the close of probation. It takes place before the second coming of Jesus Christ. Now let me ask you, when will a person receive the reward that was determined in the judgment when their name was examined? Notice Matthew chapter 16 and verse 27. Matthew 16, verse 27. For the Son of Man will come in the glory of His Father with His angels. What event is that describing? Second coming, yes. For the Son of Man will come in the glory of His Father with His angels, and then He will reward each according to his works. So when is the reward given? When Jesus comes. When are they judged? Before Jesus comes. Are you understanding me? Notice Revelation chapter 22 and verse 12. Revelation 22 and verse 12. Here Jesus is speaking and He says, and behold, I am coming quickly, and my reward is with me. So when Jesus comes, He brings the reward, and my reward is with me to give to everyone according to his what? According to his work. Now I know the question that you're asking. If the judgment is in heaven before the second coming of Jesus, how can everyone appear before the great judgment seat of Christ if we live on planet Earth? Well, let's ask another question. Very important one. Where are the dead between the time when they died and the time when Jesus comes to reward them? Let's go to John chapter 5, verses 28 and 29. Folks, we're going to notice here that's a very close connection between the state of the dead and the judgment. If you misunderstand the state of the dead, you're not going to understand the judgment. And if you misunderstand the judgment, you're not going to understand how people are during the interim of death. Now notice John 5, 28 and 29. Do not marvel at this, for the hour is coming in which all who are in heaven or in hell will hear His voice. Okay. You say, where is that? Well, that's the Revised Bor version. Doesn't count. Do not marvel at this, for the hour is coming in which all who are where? In the graves will hear His voice and come forth. When is it they're going to come forth? When Jesus comes. When do they receive their reward? When Jesus comes. When were they judged? Before Jesus comes. So did they go before God's judgment seat before the second coming? Absolutely. But how could they if they were dead in the grave? We're going to study something very important here. And so it says, do not marvel at this, for the hour is coming in which all who are in their graves will hear His voice and come forth. Those who have done good to the resurrection of life, and those who have done evil to the resurrection of damnation.